Okay guys, I want to show you my experiment that I'm doing here with these tobacco plants. Okay, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to walk to my garden. And what we did was we put 2 tobacco plants in the soil and put 2 tobacco plants, show you my garden here, 2 tobacco plants in the ground. And you can see, I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Okay, here's the 2 tobacco plants that we didn't plant in the ground, and they still had minerals we gave them and everything. Okay, they need the terrain. You need more soil. Okay, things can only grow by the size of their pots, number one, and number two, how many minerals and how much conductivity do you have in the soil. So you can see the difference here is massive. This is a tobacco plant, and you can smoke the leaves, of course, we all know that, but you can smoke the flowers also. The flowers have dimethyltryptamines in them, and tobacco is not even sold ever that's flowered like this. So the reason I'm showing you this is because you need minerals in your body. Okay, you need the right terrain. Okay, and you can see I've done many experiments with plants. Okay, and what did I put in those other plants? Okay, I put magnesium, okay, calcium, I put silica, I put fulvic acid. I also put copper into the soil also. Okay, why? Because it's a fungicide for pests, okay, for parasites, for different things. Okay, so you have to prepare your soil, okay, and your soil is the same as your gut wall flora, okay? Your gut wall flora are your soil, and if your soil does not have the correct terrain, guess what happens? Then things do not thrive. Again, this tobacco plant right here, okay, versus these ones, okay? Not even the same plant. And they are the same plant. We bought them the same time, and I put these in the ground, and this is about probably 2 months right now. But again, you can see, okay, these leaves here, these are leathery and thick, and you can see the beautiful coloration in them. Look at how big these leaves are, okay, and thick, no bugs, okay. It's got one little hole right here, but nothing's eating them. I don't put pesticides, insecticides, herbicides. Why? Because the plant's strong. And you can see this one here's pretty yellowy, but it never grew, okay. Again, your terrain, remember, is everything. We have over 50 departments that we share with people how to change their terrain, just like I changed the terrain in my garden. Either plants will grow is because the right terrain is there, or the plants may not grow too well, okay, because the right terrain is not there. Or maybe because the terrain is terrible, now you've got parasites in your garden, and now you have to use insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. Why? Is because you have an invasion of critters, okay, not only that live in the body when the body's weak, but when your garden, your soil is weak, or it doesn't have the correct minerals, it doesn't get what it needs, okay. Think about, you have a garden now and you're watering with city water full of chloramines, fluoride, okay, chlorine, that's a poison, okay, that's not good. So this is where it becomes a little complicated. That's why I chose to move to Hawaii myself, and I love to live out in nature, and nature, of course, is everything. Once you reach a certain consciousness, you start to appreciate everything that nature provides, because it gives you everything you need. Everything you need. Okay, so again, terrain is everything. You can see this is a sunflower, and nothing's eating anything here. All the plants, the leaves are beautiful. Okay, and look at the flower. Wow. And everything, remember, has its own form of beauty, but it will not grow. Remember, it will not grow like the tobacco plant if it doesn't have the conductivity, if it doesn't have the right amount of minerals, sunlight, okay, and water, correct water. And it's the same with the body. You need sunlight. Learn the skin cleaning protocols before you get out in the sun, so you can absorb D3 and not get burnt. What's living on your skin, remember, is what's burning. Okay, once you wipe off what's on your skin, then what happens to you? Then your skin doesn't burn anymore, and it absorbs, it gets melanin. The skin fungus goes away, okay? Your body starts to actually use the skin as a detoxificational organ, which is the largest organ that you own on your body, 10 pounds or so, okay? So remember, if my body becomes toxic, just like if this dark garden becomes toxic, the garden gets tons of parasites. Why? It's because everything here is not healthy, and parasites are only doing what they do. They decompose. Remember, earthworms in your soil, okay? Remember, your stomach is your soil too, okay? Your intestines. So eating processed foods, what do earthworms do? They process things, they decompose things. They eat it and they poop out poop, and you get earth worm castings, okay? And you put those in your garden, okay? This is decomposition. Once you stop eating foods that your body doesn't need to go ahead and have certain creatures to decompose, then they're not there. There's no reason. You eat a lot of processed foods, these worms, of course, decompose dead material. You eat a lot of cooked foods, these worms decompose dead material. You think you do? Remember, you want live food. You're trying to get your energy directly from the sun if your body's smart enough to be able to grab that energy. If not, you get live plant energy, okay? Right out of your garden, you eat it, okay? Like this right here. Okay, here's arugula. You want live food? You never hurt the plant, okay, ever. You just take off one of these leaves, and you can see there's nothing that's growing on here. Okay? And if there is, just hit it a few times, but there's not. You need to eat it immediately. Okay? Just spicy. Not only, okay, does the plant have nutrients, but it has life force. Wow, is that spicy? Okay, that's why nothing eats things that are spicy. Okay? I don't have any pesticides, insecticides. This is romaine. You can see some of the things are eating romaine. Okay, nothing eats arugula, and that's why I like to grow. This is all mustard seed right here, mustard lettuce, and this is going to grow beautiful mustard lettuce, a big line through here like that. And this is about maybe 4 days old, and I've got 2 packages of heirloom mustard seeds in there. Okay, remember the reason why this is going to grow? Why? Because I'm going to make it grow with the right terrain, and it's going to grow beyond normal expectations. Just like if you do the right things to your body, remove what the body doesn't need, give it what it does, what do you think it does? It thrives. Remember, there are no healers on this planet, okay? I don't call myself a healer. Maybe I'm a self-assisting healer to myself, because my body, remember, is the healer. And once you give your body what it needs, take away what it doesn't, your body is self-organizational. Okay, just like my garden. Am I going to do anything with it? No, I'm going to make sure that everything I put in here has the correct nutrients, okay? The correct things. I can't look at my tobacco plant. The correct things that's going to make everything grow. Here's my arugula. Look at this, is 2 weeks old. 2 weeks old here. These are all tomato plants. And again, just hit it a few times like that. If you want, you can bring a spray bottle out and wash them off. I'm not worried about soil. Remember, organisms are the microbes that are actually making the soil so it's healthy. The soil organisms, just like the soil organisms in your stomach, okay, the good intestinal bacteria, they are the ones responsible for making these plants grow. Okay, the ones in your stomach are responsible for keeping you healthy. They're your house cleaners. But if you got too many pathogenic microbes, okay, too many bullies in your stomach, too many parasites, fungi, bacteria, candida, heavy metals, okay, all different types of debris because it's clogged. And what do you think happens? Okay, your terrain becomes dysfunctional, and now you get sick. Okay, you get tired. You get foggy in the head, headaches, stomach problems, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. Okay, you just don't feel good. Okay, this is what most people are going through right now. So change your terrain, guys. Learn the no blood diet. No blood. You don't need flesh or blood. What makes you think you do? I haven't had it in 15 years. I'm not skinny. Okay, in fact, I'm the best I've ever felt in my life. I'm 56 years old. Okay, there's no reason for anybody to be able to destroy another sentient being. For what? Why do you need to? Why? That's the big question. It doesn't matter what we did or what we should do, what Bibles say or whatever it is. No, it's, remember, your brain has the function to be able to make choices if you're working from your heart. Do I need to kill that animal, especially since I raised it, and especially since I took care of it when it got sick, and now I'm going to take the knife and slit its throat? Okay, why? Because you need it? What needs it? Is it you or what lives inside you? See, once you lose these blood-sucking parasites, you know what happens to you? and you couldn't even eat meat if you wanted to. In fact, like I said, you go across the meat department, and now it's the bloody morgue, okay? And you look back at yourself and you go, how could I go ahead and actually eat that? Wow. Why? Because now you don't maybe have the parasites inside that actually get you to give you mind control, just like people eating sugar all the time. It's mind control, parasites. So how do you decrease this connection? Change your terrain. Learn intermittent water fasting. We share with that a lot on Earther Academy. Change your foods up to superfoods. Okay, organic superfoods. Go to the farmer's market. Get yourself real food. Okay, that's non-GMO, no pesticides, organic only if you can. And the only way you really, if you know what's going on, is because organic's organic half the time. Okay, you want to have real food, then grow it yourself. I have planters. Look, I got 15 planters on my counter up there. Okay, and these planters that are up there, they're full, as I showed you before, of basil, arugula, tomatoes. Okay, and so if you want to really get smart, then what do you have to do? To sort of just learn how to plant some food. And if you can't do it, then have somebody next door to you and work in their garden. Trade them off a little bit like we used to. Okay, remember, disconnecting your parasites is done by changing your body's frequency, its morphogenic value, its vibrational tune, its resonance. Okay, the higher you get up in resonance, okay, the less things that are going to hurt you can live inside you. That's the way it works. It's because all these parasites, the different types of creatures, even the ones that live in my garden here, they're all low vibrational creatures and they're destructive. Remember, they're vampiric in nature and they only take, they don't give you. Okay, this is where, again, I call these the archons. Okay, these are the demonic possessions that we all have. It doesn't matter. Possessions mean, remember, that you don't even know you have them. And once you let go of these possessions that you didn't even know, then now you have freedom. Okay, this is an elusive parasite, very powerful. And it's not just one. And look up mind-controlling parasites if you don't believe so. Read the book Parasite Rex so you can see the power of these little creatures. Okay, remember again, 50% of the people that have cats have the toxoplasmic gondii, a mind-controlling parasite. Okay, fleas, okay, tapeworms, all different things pass disease through the blood. Okay, so what do? Well, clean it up, change it up. Okay, learn detoxification, learn the practicals, as I call them, practices, principles, and protocols of terrain modification, a little at a time, when you can, if you can. That's all you can do. Okay, so again, part of your antidote to getting healthy is learning these protocols, is learning them. That's a military helicopter. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, learning these protocols. Okay, and once you learn them and they actually work for you, then of course, what do? You tell a friend. Okay, you need minerals in your body. You need silica. You need to be able to learn how to take out the hair mites out of your head. We have hundreds of products at Earthshift Products, all wholesale to the public. We have tons of products that would upgrade, enhance, and optimize your life. Okay, these are essential products, not just selling things. These are things that basically are necessity for our program. So we make it easy for people to be able to get them under one roof. Again, get your foods if you're going to get them, and make sure they're in food grade packages. Make sure that you're not getting delusional products like silica. Our living silica is 4 times as powerful as everybody else's. Why? Because we don't dilute it. Our magnesium is 31% brine that you put on your skin, transdermal magnesium. We don't dilute it. A lot of them are down to 15%. Fulvic acid, okay, same thing. Ours is a pH of 2.2. Okay, most fulvic acids are pH of 6 and 7. You want the higher pH or the lower pH. Why? Because it's more powerful. So if you want to buy water, guys, go ahead. You'll find out that a lot of things are actually good for you, but now you have to figure out, well, which one do I get? Do I buy it off of Amazon? No. You need to be, remember, smart. There's a lot of different types of diamonds out there. And of course, they all have different qualities. So now you have to go ahead and be have a little more discernment too. You find out something's good for you. Now you have to find out which shower dechlorinator to get because you have chlorine or chloramines. Okay, this is what we figure out for you on Earthshift. What products that we know that work, we sell them to you at a super discount, give you free shipping, okay, on most of the orders. And you need to upgrade, enhance, and optimize. You just do. You need tools. Again, if I didn't put my fertilizers in here, if I didn't know what to do here and and put my terrain and make it smart, then all of these plants would be sick. As you can see, they're healthy as healthy. Nothing's eating them. Look at the little fur in there. Okay, and you can see they're not even green. They're purpley blue. Okay, see the colors. Okay, so these are my little tomato section here, and I just put these in a week ago. I bought these from the store, organic tomatoes at Home Depot. They were $1.98 a piece. You can see this one's flowering already. These are my little pineapples here. And again, if you have a correct terrain, you will never get sick. I guarantee you. How can you? Your body, again, is self-organizing. It fixes itself. Remember, there are no healers. We're only assistants to the body. The body's the master healer. It is the one that has innate intelligence. Innate. That means it's really smart. Innate means it'll fix itself because it has intelligence beyond our understanding. We were taught this in school, going to medical school, chiropractic school, learning all these different layers. Innate intelligence is what we try to stimulate. Okay? The magic pill is not the magic pill. You need to stimulate the innate intelligence in the body that is nothing more than what? The God of yourself. Whatever you want to call yourself. Remember, your body fixes itself. Okay? When you cut yourself, did you fix it? No, it fixed itself. You just made sure it didn't get parasitic infection. Okay? So these are all layers, okay, to be able to experiment with. Again, the smartest thing anybody can do is help us progress the terrain modification protocols, practices, and principles. Again, number two, we have all these products. And I'm not trying to sell you products, guys. We don't make any money doing this. Family lets us do this, okay? It's a gift for you guys. It really is. Remember, how can you sell things wholesale, give free shipping, and then give you non-diluted products? Okay, and if you really do your research, you'll find out, okay, that most of the products you get are not what you need, okay, because they're not like aspirin. Aspirin needs to be pure aspirin. Aspirin's brown, okay, white willow bark. It's not white, okay, the substance is brown. Okay, does it work compared to real aspirin versus fake aspirin? Okay, real vitamin C versus fake vitamin C. Is there a difference? You betcha there is. One is holistic and one is an analog. Analog is one little piece out of a spectrum of different types of reactions or nutrients or enzymes or just anything, not even separately, but working together so they all blend together and make what's called a holistic approach. Okay, so think holistic. Holistic means you're going to really look at the big picture. Remember, it's not the magic pill. It's innate intelligence that corrects the dysfunction in the body, and we have to use our intelligence to be able to help the innate intelligence. And sometimes we don't have too much intelligence. So learn from other people, but then again, have discernment. And remember, the people that you want to listen to, remember, they should practice what they preach. They should. And if what they're doing is not really making them look healthy, wealthy, happy, and wise, okay, then maybe you may want to have discernment on that too. Remember, there are a lot of parts to this keeping healthy game. And then there's a lot of parts to regeneration and rejuvenation. So this is what we try to go over on Earther Academy. And again, the best thing you can do is try to be able to learn our programs. It's self-responsibility for you to become your own doctor, not anybody else's doctor, but your own. And a doctor means you're going to be your own teacher, as I've been for myself. And of course, I've been a doctor for other people too. But I'm only sharing with you what I'm doing here, okay, and what it's done for me. And it has cured my not only mental insanity, my emotional insanity, okay, but my physiological insanity, which I had, again, 15 years worth of massive stomach problems. Parasites. You should see the things that came out of me. I used to put them in bags and show all my friends my collection of what came out of me. And they always used to think, whoa, you must be sick. No, everybody's got these. Everybody has parasites. So guys, when you say, you're just scaring people about parasites. No, body fat is a parasite, okay? You don't think it is? It's alive. You think there's anything in your body that's not alive? Arthritis is alive, okay? These are live creatures that make houses out of calcium and different types of sort of like coral. What lives in the coral is a live creature. But of course, the coral itself, when you see it dead, is just a bag of calcium. But it's actually alive. Okay? It's the same with everything that lives in your body. Everything's alive. Even the wrinkles on your face Okay, those are creatures. And what do we do? Terrain modify them. Follow the it's not skin cleaning, but removal wrinkling protocols. And we use all the products from Earthshift products. So again, when you're going to start your journey, you got to start sooner or later. You got to start. Why? Because once you get sick, remember, when you get seasick on a boat, like I always say, you don't even want to play. You just want to get off the boat, even though you just spent the last 3 days getting ready for the fishing trip. Once you get on the boat, 2 hours later, you're sick and you just want to get off. Once you're sick, remember, it's not easy to navigate. So try to figure out right now how to navigate your minimal sickness right now, because you're still going to work. Because once you get maximum sickness where you can't go to work, well, or you have to go to the hospital, then that's a whole different picture. Okay, it's like your car when it blows up versus taking care of it along the way. So, okay, guys, one last recap. Again, put the right terrain in your body, okay, and you get this plant, okay, with flowers, okay, and reproductive capabilities to this dwarf here. Look at this one's even dwarfier. All right, it's still flowering. It's still going to go through its cycle, but if you were growing this for tobacco, there's no tobacco there. Look at all that. Okay, so you can do this with any plant, with any experiment. You can do this again with your body. And this is what I do. I experiment with myself all the time, and if it's valid, then what I do is I try to share it with other people to see if it works on them too. And once it works on them too, well, then guess what? What do? We try to share that with people. Some of the information is too sensitive for YouTube. That's why we have Earth Through Academy. And again, we give you back your money on credits to Earthshift products and to our student store at Earth Through Academy. So enjoy, guys. Make your own garden. Study terrain modification. But not only that, if you don't practice it, then, well, then it's not even worth actually looking into. Okay, and it does take about 180 days for you really to go through this first phase, and it will change your life. And then when you're serious, when you're really serious, okay, not only when you've joined Earth Through Academy and you're learning things on your own, then you'd come up to our retreat center here. And people from around the world come up here to be able to dry out, to reset, to do medically supervised water fasting, okay, dry water fasting with cutting edge protocols, practices, and principles, okay? IV therapies, high potency vitamin C, okay, EDTA drips, H2O2 drips if you need them, okay, alpha lipoic acid, glutathione. These are all done by intravenous, done by our naturopathic medical doctor. And we teach people here a lot of different protocols that you're going to want to learn when you go home, okay? And what it is disconnecting your parasites gives you a new life, and one of the ways to do that, like I said, is water fasting. But you need to get ready for it if you can. Okay, you don't just want to try it, but you can. A lot of people actually just come up here and they had a hamburger yesterday. So that's just the way they are, and they get fantastic results. But if you'd want to, for 3 or 4 months, okay, or at least a couple of months, go ahead and dry yourself out a little bit. Get off of the flesh, okay, get off of fast food, get off of junk food, get off of fake sugars and all that kind of stuff, okay? So, all right, guys, aloha and have a good day. There we go. Show you last of beautiful Hawaii. And someone's playing the piano upstairs. Okay, there we go, guys. Aloha.
Important reminder: all information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein. Important reminder: all information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.